Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, Anthem's official launch trailer just got out and it looks sweet as heck. It's getting me really hyped up for next week, and it looks like this is most probably going to be the last Anthem trailer that we're going to see up until launch, or maybe even for some time. If you want to check it out, it's on the official Anthem YouTube channel. It's about 1.5 minutes long, but we're also going to be covering it in this video, breaking it down piece by piece and scene by scene. There's a couple of zones being teased in it. I don't recall ever seeing them before, at least not in any great detail, so let's not waste any more time and start with the first sequence of the 4 javelins right here on the bay. Here you can see the 4 pilots getting ready for an expedition, and I will say I would really love to see something like this in the full game as well, as in having all of the 4 javelins being on display at any given time and thus being able to just walk up to them and pick whichever one we want to for the next expedition. But moving on, we have a next scene that is all about fighting, and here you can see the ranger picking up his assault rifle and then just jumping into combat against a group of scars. There's about a dozen or so enemies. The area looks absolutely beautiful, and I will say this is probably something that we haven't seen before. It definitely looks more in the theme of the scars, as in all of the structures being pretty much dilapidated. There's a lot of debris on the ground. Everything seems to be patched up, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Fallout universe, but you can see more of that in the next sequence. For example, here where there is an aerial view of the entire location, you can see a lot more going on in the background. There's these structures that the scars have built up from the scrap they were able to find, and yeah, it all looks like patchwork. It all looks like the type of stuff you can find in the post-apocalyptic world, but again, the scars are no match against that amazing ultimate that the ranger has, and it clearly annihilated everything in sight. There's another 1-second sequence right after this, very easy to miss because a lot of stuff is happening on the screen. The transitions are also very fast, but this is probably the best still image I could get out of it, and you can see that this wasn't just another dungeon, it's actually in the open world. Seems to be a heavy scar-filled territory, might even be very close to their base, and there's also this wall or gate in the background. Not really sure where it brings us, but it does look like whatever is in the middle of it has been broken down or the gates have been opened. But again, I really like the environment diversity here, and this is probably my favorite scene from the entire trailer. Pay close attention to the location this Colossus is situated in. There's a lot of lava going on, probably very close to an active volcano. You can see a lot of lava flowing over there in the background, almost like a waterfall, but instead of water there is lava. The entire location has been pretty much burned down to the crisp, to the point that everything is almost black. And one question that is being raised here is, will the heat also overheat our jets? That is the question that I have, and from the reading I have done so far about the game, the answer is most probably yes. So yes, our time in the air might be limited in these locations, but again, pay close attention to how these javelins fly over the rivers of lava, and at some point this Colossus is doing a ground slam on these poor insects, annihilating them in sight. But again, a little bit more of the region in the background. I really want to explore more of this, and I'm also really curious, does that lava provide environmental damage? My instincts are telling me yes, but gameplay wise I'm not really sure. Hopefully that is the case. Moving on, we have another fighting scene. We have the Interceptor dashing through his foes, and then again another one cool new area back in the jungle environment, but this looks like some sort of suspended temple, and part of it has even collapsed to the point that you can see what is beneath it, and of course there is a very long way down. You might even fall over there, but of course you have your javelin, you can fly, and that might probably not happen to you. But yeah, seeing these temples is really cool. We didn't get to experience that too much in the demo, at least not on this scale, and this one looks quite important. There's also some fighting going in the background, or somebody has shot a couple of rockets. From the looks of it, there seem to be some scar right there on the ground level, and it seems that the party is going to engage with them. There's also another look at one of the character faces, and yes, this is most probably going to be a character face. I recognize this from the character creator because this is one of the faces that I actually picked in the game, or at the very least it was something quite similar to this. Also, the background music is amazing and it goes so freaking well with what's happening on the screen. And just pay close attention to some of these areas in the background. It's something we haven't seen before. For example, there's this huge vast place, there's some pipes going on. I'm not really sure if this this is inside of a temple, but it definitely looks massive and it looks like something you would want to explore. It looks like something you want to be in, definitely something related to those shapers and those old technologies. So again, the places in the game are so much more varied than you thought. It almost looks like you're inside of a factory at some point. You can see all of these devices in the background, all of these pipes, so I think it's anybody's guess what they could even mean at this point. They are also quite massive compared to the characters and compared to the enemies you're fighting, and finally we get to see a little bit more of probably a more central area of the same location where the crew is fighting a bunch of enemies. These appear to be Dominion, as we also see the soldiers in the background, but also that Dominion fury, so yeah, definitely related to that. Finally we have all the javelins again at the fort, looking very cool, all 4 of them on the launch bay themselves, but that's where it ends. This has been the entire trailer. If you guys enjoyed this video, you know what to do, and I'll see you guys next time.